Hey everybody, okay, so it's Monday still, and I did such a good video with my throwing, I did such a good job with my throwing shade video that I thought I would do another just quick video on Egyptian astrology. Now, Egyptian astrology is something very complicated to learn. The fact that I learned it and I'm only 15, I think is something very, very, like, good. Because if you know anything about Egyptian astrology, if you've been doing any of the research, I do two types of Egyptian astrology readings. I do the ones based on the ancient Egyptian tarot, and then I do the other ones based on the ancient Egyptian actual astrological signs. And those readings are more to tell you like which deities you should and shouldn't work with. And as long as I'm talking about these videos, I would like to just say a shout out to Nadia, the Gypsy Witch. I have your reading done. I just have not had the chance to type it up and send it out. I will get that done today because I don't have anything else to do. I don't have anything else to do, so I'm going to type that up and send that out to you. So, there are two ways to do the ancient Egyptian astrological sign readings. There's one way where I just need your birthday and the date, the birth month, and the day you were born on, and I can tell you which deity you were born under. So my birthday is August 13th, for example, and so I'm born under Anubis. To give you guys a better hint, I have a folder somewhere. Hold on, guys. Be right back. I have a folder full of people. I have a folder full of people, and I read these people, and I see which deities they're born under, and I learn their traits, and that plays into some card readings I do. But I have a notebook that has a reading that I did for Kat, and I needed her birthday for it. And I believe she was born under Isis, if I'm correct. And that actually goes to say something about her power and her magic. But that's the basic reading. Now, if you want a more in-depth reading, I need the birth date, the year, and maybe even the time you were born, depending on what the date was, and depending on what the date was. Now, to do the second type of reading, which is more in depth, it's 22 characteristics, but using your birth date, the time, and the month, and all of that, I can tell you certain things about your aspects. So, like, let's say that somebody was born. I could use so let's say somebody was born on my birthday. I could tell them that. What could I tell them? I could tell them that Happy was walking through their life, which means that fertility, which was walking through their life, but he was walking towards the west, which tells you that fertility and prosperity is something that you will have trouble with in your lifetime. That goes for the whole year. Prosperity. Happy was walking through that whole year to the west. Now, if he enters from the east and he exits to the west, if he's exiting through the west, meaning he's moving to the west, he's moving out of your life. But if he was entering from the east, he's entering into your life, meaning that he is actually, prosperity is not something that's going to be hard for you. It's going to be something that's very easy for you. And you also have to take into consideration that these things are different, and you also have to take into consideration that the Egyptians followed a different calendar than us. And following the ancient Egyptian calendar is harder because we don't have some of the landmarks, I guess you would call them, some of them time markings that they had. Like we still have Sirius, which is rising, but which rises in the sky during the time of when the Nile should flood. But the thing about that is I don't live in Egypt, and so the star rising here is probably not correct in Egypt. And another thing is that the Nile doesn't flood anymore, so we can't tell, if it's time for New Year's, if it's time for planting or harvesting anymore. And that's another thing. Now, my readings take a while, 2 days at the most, but there is supposed to be a 3-day cleansing period before each reading. That is a period of divination. that is traditional in divination, a 3-day cleaning period of all sorts, of all energies. So, I clean my head, I clean everything, and if you do this and you are sexually active, there is supposed to be a 3-day period of abstinence too, which I really don't think would be that hard for anybody. Oh, my head hurts. I'm telling too much. I'm telling too much. My head hurts. Okay. Um. So I'm telling too much, and I can tell that because my head hurts, and Sekhmet always makes my head hurt when I'm talking. Ow! See, she's doing it again. Okay. So I'm telling too much, and I guess I really should have consulted with them before I just went off spilling secrets that are secrets to me, are secrets that they have given me. As I will still post this video though, obviously. Um, what else? But using the second type of reading that I do, which is the Egyptian deity readings, I can tell you which deity you are born to work under. Sekhmet is not one of the deities I am born to work under. I am born to work under Thoth and Anubis. Both of them are considered to be scribe gods and keeper gods. One of them is considered to be the god of the dead, which actually does go very well with my gifts. If you don't know, I see and hear and speak to spirits. Another one is, and Thoth is actually the keeper of all times, and he's the great scribe of the god, and he's the writer of the Book of Spells, known as the Book of the Dead or the Book of Thoth. Both of them are spell books that he has written. And so, but and that also brings in how do I work with Sekhmet? Well, there's a sign that correlates with Egyptian astrology, that correlates with Western astrology and Egyptian astrology. The Egyptian astrologies also have another sign for lion. I don't want to explain that sign because it would take too long and the video would be horribly long. But it correlates with Leo the lion. And essentially, it's a representation of Sekhmet. It's actually a child of Sekhmet. It's the earth god, a lion with two heads, a head at each end, and it's an earth god. And I correlate it with fire and earth, which means that I'm not only a fire spirit, but I'm also very in tune with earth. And if you ask my mom, I can grow anything. My mom could tell me to go plant a field of corn in our backyard, and even though our backyard is the smallest yard you will ever see, that corn would prosper. I could grow anything. And I really do care for plants because I hate seeing plants die. I really do. I have a tree in my backyard that's dead, and if I knew how to fix it, I would be out there working it, tending to it. I would do whatever I could to bring that tree back to life. What that also means is that I'm also connected to Jed, the Earth Spirit, Father Earth. So, just from those three symbols themselves, I can tell that certain deities I attune with more than others. And this is a very long and extensive process. 2 days. I really think it only takes 2 days because I have school in it. If I didn't have school and I could choose when I didn't do stuff, if I didn't go to school, I think it would really only take me 1 day. But that'd be 1 day that I'm locked up in my room doing math. I think my parents would actually support that because I don't do my math homework. No, I do my math homework, y'all. Don't let my parents tell you I don't. But yeah, the astrology readings do take very long. And I have given you some of those personality readings or some of those rune readings that you asked for. And personality readings. The personality readings are the one based off the ancient Egyptian tarot. And I would just like to clarify this because I don't get too many questions about it. But when I do, I feel the need to tell people that the ancient Egyptian tarot is what people base playing cards off of. Now, you can't interpret the cards the same way because we don't know how they interpreted them years ago. So what I am doing Go ahead. Brothers, I'm babysitting y'all. What I am doing is writing my own correspondences for each playing card. And that is, you have to look at the symbolism of the card. And sometimes you might have to add something to the card for it to mean something to you. And that's not a bad thing. You know, you do divination how you do it. Like, you know, like Kat says, there's not just one way to do this path. There are 1,000 ways to do this path. But also, like Kat says, you can't be a stupid witch. You gotta know you gotta know your stuff. You gotta be able to look at something, interpretate it, and you know, I'm looking out the window constantly because I love cloud reading, y'all. I love cloud divination. I look up and I see a cloud shaped like a dragon, and I'm like, that's not a good sign. It's not a good sign because a cloud shaped like a dragon, depending on what the dragon looks like, could be either a sign of courage, and that I'm going to be faced with the thing that I'm going to have to be courageous and stand up, or it could mean that there's going to be pure chaos around me and destruction, and I'm like, oh gosh, I can't deal with chaos and destruction. I can't. And so I'm actually thinking about starting a series of divination because I am very good at divination of all sorts and all kinds, because I could pull a card. Hold on. This is the Four of Clubs. Okay, the Four of Clubs to me is the card of splitting of ways and splitting of people, which tells me that I might have to split with some people. I might have to leave some people alone in my personal life because I'm not necessarily ready for what they are, what they have going on in their life, and I may not be adult enough to handle that. But or it may be too childish, and I'm too adult to be in what they're in. So that's just how I see divination. I'm looking out of the windows and I'm seeing the trees blowing west, and I'm seeing the trees blowing west, and what is west? West is water, emotion. Emotional times are coming are coming, and the wind is east. East is spirit. So this might have to do with emotions that are very deep, very soulful to me, like something that really touches my soul, something that's very personal. It might mean a time of change and creativity. It might mean that I need to look towards my art. I need to look towards an art for creativity. So maybe I'll do a series on divination. If you guys like it, leave comments below, and I'll think about it. Also, I'm encouraging you guys to leave comments and ask questions, because even though I'm a kid, I'm a very educated teenager, and I feel like I'm very advanced in my past for anyone my age. And you also consider I go to school and do homework too. I think I'm very advanced at that, at juggling school with home, with all of that. So, I just want to make this video. Just thought I'd make another video. I guess this is sort of an update. I don't know. I guess it's just sort of a talking video and a little bit of information. And I guess I'll see you guys later. So, bye.